Hey, welcome back to 3 Minute Thursday for the week of May 20th of 2020. I'm back in my classroom. If you can't tell, we are doing some stuff with seniors this week as a way to honor and remember them. So I'm here this morning before things get rolling just to share just a few thoughts with you as we are now just 2 weeks away from the end of our school year. By far the most bizarre school year of my 25 years, to say the least. And I've been thinking about scars lately because I think it's interesting as I get older, and I'm definitely getting older. I look at my hands a lot of times and just kind of see lines getting there, and it's just I'm getting older. It is what it is. And one of the things that I have on my hands, I have a scar across my right hand here that I got on the back of our minivan that we got when the kids were little back in the day, our Mazda green van that the kids loved and called it the green van, the green car. And I got that scar on a beach trip, just going to the beach for a day and pulling down the back of the trunk, and it cut my hand. And I didn't think anything of it. It was no big deal. It wasn't a big cut, but it's still there. And I can see it. It's faded, but it's definitely still there. And when I do see it, I think of that day. I think of our kids being little. They're not little anymore. I think about our time as a family, and it's a fond memory. What we're currently going through with COVID-19 and with this quarantine and being out of school and being away from each other and self-isolation and social distancing and so forth, it's going to leave a scar. And it's going to be a pretty significant scar. It's not going to be a scrape across your hand. And for most of us, the scars aren't going to be visible. They're going to be internal. They're going to be on our heart and on our souls. And I guess what I'm wondering, and the question that has been going through my head over the last week or so, is this scar that's going to be left from this experience, what story is it going to tell? Yesterday when we started our senior handprints, it was an emotional day to see some of my kids that I've known since they were freshmen, and some of them even earlier. And I looked into the eyes of one young lady, and all I could see was her eyes because she had a mask on, and there was sadness there and there was uncertainty there. And I just looked at her and I said, you have to remember that this is just one small part of your story, and you're still in control of that story and where it goes. And I don't know if it gave her any comfort. It seemed to give her mom a little bit of comfort, who was also with her. But this story that we're in is profound. And those of us who are living through this time in history are going to look back on this and see this as a challenge that we've overcome. But there's going to be scars. And so I want to encourage you today, as we progress through the last couple of weeks of school. I want to encourage you to realize that the scars that we have on our hearts and on our souls are part of the story too. And we'll think back and we'll remember. And I hope that you're able to remember not necessarily the difficulties and the hard parts and the hardships and the sadness, but remember the people who rose up. Remember the people that came to your aid, and remember the people that you helped. Because that cliche that we're all in this together is actually totally true. And the stories of people taking care of each other and being there for each other, whether it's your immediate family or it's our first responders and our frontline healthcare workers, whether it's the teachers who are trying to figure out distance learning and doing everything they can to help their kids make it through. No matter who you are and no matter what you're doing, we're all going to share the scar of this. But the question that you have to ask yourself is, what story is that scar going to tell? Please stay safe. Please keep doing what you're doing to love your families and love those that are important to you. And even more importantly today, how are you loving strangers? Because one of the basic needs we all have is to be loved. Have a great day.